All right, good morning, everybody. As always, I'm Jenny Davis, and I'm the principal of Piedmont Hills. Welcome this morning. Those of you that joined us, I don't know if it's been a we or if it's a me problem. I've been having problems with the messenger, which is how I send out messenger messages to parents this week. So I couldn't send out the reminder, which I normally do. I just put in a work order because I kept getting an error message. So thank you for those of you that remembered that we have this at 9 a.m. Because I did not send out a reminder this week, but hopefully I will get that fixed and that will go out. Normally I send those out on Tuesday, but for the next morning. So that said, what our plan is to cover today is we are going to go over kind of the tools that parents use to see your child's progress in school. So I'm going to start with going over what EC Arms is. I'm going to quickly kind of go over some stuff about Infinite Campus and what you can see in Infinite Campus. And then I have one of our teachers on special assignment with us, Ms. Flores. She is one of the people that are helping the teachers convert to Canvas and learn about Canvas, which is our new platform that teachers are primarily going to be using to post assignments and their grade books. And so she's going to show all of you the parent view in Canvas and what you can see about Canvas. As always, if you have questions as we're going, put them in the chat and then we'll answer those questions. I am recording this, so I am going to send this out later. So don't, like, if you miss anything or like, oh, I didn't check, this is something that you're going to be able to go back and watch again. And then these two presentations that we're sharing today, I will also link those in my newsletter so that you can always have access to them if you wanted to go back and look at anything on these presentations. Okay. All right. Let me share my screen. And let me start this slideshow. Actually, real quick, hold on a minute. Sorry, guys, hold on. Michelle, I'm gonna make you a co-host so that you can admit people while I'm sharing my screen, because I won't be able to do that while I'm in the presentation mode. Sorry, a little housekeeping stuff going on. Okay, so this is what's known as the parent portal. I actually gave this presentation last year. So those of you that were with us last year, this is hopefully a review, but I know we have a lot of new parents. So this is going to be, some of this may be new. So what ARMS is, well, first off, to get initially set up on ARMS as a parent, you should have received a registration email with a temporary password. And that probably, like those of you that enrolled, hopefully that came sometime over the summer. How this works is this email only goes to only one person gets the email, and it's the parent that's listed as the primary contact. So if you yourself on your email address didn't get it, check with your partner or somebody else in the household, because that person might have gotten it. Check your junk mail folder to see, like, you know, sometimes like maybe you marked it as spam and you didn't realize what it was. If you still can't find this email and you haven't gotten onto ARMS, what you need to do is you need to email Rupert Rosales. Oops, I went too far. Rupert Rosales at rosalesr@esuhsd.org. That is our parent. He is our parent and community involvement specialist, and he can reset your email and make sure that you get that email to get everything started. Okay. When you get logged on to ARMS, you're going to have a screen that looks like this. One thing, again, this is a presentation I did last year. One thing that I should have changed that I didn't, I opened it this morning and I was like, oh, I should have edited that. We no longer have School Loop. So instead of School Loop, you're going to have a square that says Canvas. Okay. But this is how you see all the tools that you, this is a quick link that you can get to our homepage. You can get to the district's homepage. Khan Academy is on here. Khan Academy is a great resource for like, if you have a quick question for math or something like that, that you don't know how to do something, Khan Academy is actually a great source for that. And then there's also Infinite Campus, which is what I'm going to, in this part, be talking primarily about. when you get into Infinite Campus, okay, you're going to see a lot of different things on the left-hand side. Last year, I went over a lot about the gradebook because teachers were primarily using the gradebook. When I skipped those slides for today for our purposes this morning, but when I do share out this presentation, I put it in my newsletter, I will include those slides back. So if you wanted to see it, some teachers may still be using the gradebook. A lot of teachers are going to link their Canvas to Infinite Campus, and so it will be in both places. But what I primarily wanted to talk about today is like some of the other tabs and features that are in Infinite Campus that you might find useful as a parent. You can check your child's attendance in Infinite Campus. You can see what their schedule is. And so if you just wanted to check and see like when they have what period, or if you wanted to see like if you were scheduling a doctor's appointment or something like that, and you wanted to make sure that they didn't miss a certain class, so you can see what times. Again, this is last year, and so this is actually last year's times and schedules. I should have updated that for this year, but I did not. So the fees tab, which you see on here, right here, we don't actually use that. So you're not going to see anything on here. But what is really important, especially as your child gets older and they start like applying for colleges and things like that, you're going to see a lot of documents on here in this documents tab that are really useful for you guys with this. So especially this grad inventory. So if you were to click on that, you're going to get something that looks like this. Now, I pulled this is a freshman from last year, so that she didn't have anything on her grad inventory, but normally you'll see, you know, the courses that are earned, like up here, you'll see what, so this child took summer school before her start of the freshman year. So you see 10 credits like that. And then you'll see like what they've earned, what they still need to earn. And so this is a great way to see, like, especially when kids are applying for college and they don't remember, oh gosh, what classes did I take? Like this document right here is really, really helpful for that. And then another tab that's helpful to see like where they are in terms of graduation and how they're like progressing through high school is down here, still under documents, so the academic plan progress report. And if you click on that, you get a screen like this, and it shows you, you know, what, and again, this was a freshman that I had pulled, and you see like this actually shows what they're currently enrolled in. And so assuming they pass all of these classes, how many credits they would get their freshman year. And then you see, so like if you look at a senior, they're going to have progress throughout all of these. And then over here, you can see like, okay, she's currently enrolled in 10 credits of English, but to graduate, these are what they need for graduation. They need 40 credits of English. So 1 year of English each year. You see social studies, they need 30 credits of social studies to graduate, but they don't take social studies their freshman year. So that's why she's in 0, but then next year she would have more. So this is just a great little tool for you as a parent to see, okay, what is their progress? If you are wondering how are they doing, and so this is a great thing to see. And then you see down here some explanation about what they need to pass in order to graduate from high school. Right, this is information that we will continue to go over when I have the counselors come and talk with you guys. We'll always be going over this information, but I just wanted to show you some things in Infinite Campus that you as parents can see. All right, but what you're really here to learn about today is Canvas. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle and you can present about Canvas.
Sounds good. Good morning, everybody. I haven't done Zoom in a really long time. This actually makes me nervous. Good. You guys can see the screen? All right. So basically this year we're using Canvas. I've been helping a lot of teachers. A lot of teachers came to my room yesterday during their prep period to kind of find out how to use the different features, collaboration tools, stuff like that. But on the parent end, there is a little bit that kind of needs to be done so that you link with your students. So basically, in order for you to link with your student has to give you a pairing code. and basically they go into their settings and it says pair with observer. It gives you a code or a QR code, and you could just scan their code. They give you the code, you log in, create an app, or through the app on your phone, or you could get just the regular through our Piedmont Hills High School page. You could go to Canvas and just go straight through the regular computer, create an account, and basically you'll have the access to see pretty much everything. So if you were here last year with your student, Google Classroom didn't allow you to see like grades, assign as many assignments. It was kind of limited to what the parent can see. Pretty much in Canvas, parents see everything that their student sees. So you see a lot. I'm going to show you the little tool that I didn't create, another teacher in the district created, but it'll be in the slideshow so that you can kind of go through it. So your student has to get a pairing code. Like I said, they would go into Canvas, go into their account, go to settings in their account, and then it says pair with observer. Basically, they get a code and they just send you the code. They could text it to you, whatever it may be. There's also, like I said, an option for a QR code. And then once you're in, it allows you to pair with multiple students. So if you have 2 kids, or if your middle schooler uses Canvas as well, you're able to pair as many students as you want. Once you have the code, so it's kind of like the student end is on the right. You as a parent, you would just go to the App Store, or like I said, go to our website, and go to Canvas and log in through a computer. It'll ask you to find the school district. You have to create a login and a password, just like with any other app. And then it'll ask you for a pairing code, and that's where you would put down here. And then you start participating. So this is a little cute little guide. It's really easy to kind of follow. I've been helping some of our teachers on campus that have students here. They've looked at this and they were able to log in pretty easily. But it will be in the presentation. Jenny, do you send the presentation out?
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be in the presentation, so you could click on it and have this document to look at whenever you want. But once you are in, the first thing that I would recommend doing is going into your account. So once you're in, it kind of looks like this. If you're going from a computer, so you would go to your account, go to notifications, and this is where you can customize what you want sent to you. Do you want everything sent to you? Which could be a lot of information because you have 6 teachers. So do you want every single announcement, every single assignment, everything? Or are there certain things that you want prioritized? Do you want daily? Do you want weekly updates? So in this, it gives you pretty much every possibility, and you decide how frequent you get it. And if you even want a notification at all, you could turn notifications off, but I would suggest that be the first thing that you do. Otherwise, you're going to get information that you might not want, or not get the information that you do want. So once you get in, go through the account. If you choose to have weekly notifications, it'll be delivered Saturday between 7 and 9. Daily notifications are around 6 o'clock every night. And if you want to prioritize certain subject matters and have it, you could do this as a general guide. But if you want more, like if your student is struggling more in math or more in English, you could go into that course and set specific notifications for just math, just English, if you want more information or more frequent information from those courses. But this is just the general for all 6 classes combined. So I would suggest starting there. This is the dashboard. So this is where you will see all of the classes for your students that have been published. And on the right of that, so this is what the whole screen would look like. On the right of that, you have a to-do list that your student is supposed to be working on. So this has all of the recent assignments, all of the recent announcements for all of their classes combined. So it's kind of their hub if you want to see just in general what they need to do at this specific moment. Their to-do list will be on the right. Underneath that is recent feedback, which will show you all of the assignments that have been graded, and it'll show the score that they earned. So if you wanted to see if any grades have been updated, that'll be under recent feedback. And then under that, which didn't get captured in the screenshot, it'll say show grades. So you just click on show grades and it'll show you all the grades for their classes at that current moment. So this is kind of the hub where you have a bunch of information from the get. If you go into calendar, which is on the left, it'll show you pretty much the same thing as their to-do list, but it'll tell you the specific day in a calendar format. So you could see what's coming up. If you notice that there's a test in a few days, you can ask your student if they've started studying, if they need help with anything. It'll show homework assignments, labs, regular classwork. So everything will be in here. A lot of times you could click on it and already have the directions. If it doesn't allow you to click on it, it means that the teacher put it in there as an assignment, but they locked it. So they're like, I don't want my students to start looking at the assignment until I explain it, just to make sure that they do everything that I want them to do. And I show them the rubric and I go over the material. So like some of them, you'll see the actual assignment, but you won't be able to click it for more information. And that's because the teacher has locked it until class has started.
Michelle, I'm going to pause you just for a second and answer this question that was in the chat. Amy says 3 of my kids' teachers are not on Canvas yet. One of them is using Google Classroom at Infinite Campus now. Will all the teachers be required to move to Canvas, or we parents still need to check on different platforms? So I would ask for your patience. Canvas is a brand new platform to everybody. Canvas is way more complicated on the teacher side than School Loop was. School Loop was very user-friendly. Canvas is way more complicated. It does a lot more stuff and it's really cool. And once they get used to it, it's going to be really, really great. But the learning curve is pretty steep. So they're still learning it. Some were quicker than others about getting up and getting going with it, especially teachers. Some teachers, they taught in a different district before. They've actually used Canvas before. So they were a lot more knowledgeable. So it's a lot more easier for them. So we do have some teachers right now that are like, in the meantime, still using Google Classroom and like loading that into Campus because, we're in the second week of school. They're assigning stuff. They don't want to like not be grading stuff and get super behind. But the intention is that they will start using Canvas and everybody will start using Canvas. Just this past Monday, there was a big update on Canvas. And so some teachers were waiting for that because we knew that was coming because there was going to be new features released. So hopefully in the next week or two, you will see all of the teachers start using it. But when we have back to school night on September 1st, that would definitely be a question that I would ask of the teachers on what grading platform. Hopefully that's something they're automatically sharing anyway on back to school night, but that would definitely be something to ask the teachers about. Okay, go ahead, Michelle.
So yeah, if you just don't get frustrated if you try to click on an assignment and you can't see it, it's just the teacher locked it until class started. This can be seen in a monthly view, a weekly view, or an agenda view. So this is the agenda view. I personally like this view better because I feel like it just gives me a list of things that are coming. But it's just personal preference on which way you like to see information. But this would be on the calendar aspect. So you're pretty much seeing the to-do list, but it's giving you different ways to view it. This is, I don't know, it's like I said, a preference. Under courses, if you wanted to see specific assignments, you would go to their assignment and it'll show you all of the assignments that they have completed so far. There's not a lot in here because it's the second week of school and I'm taking screenshots of current classrooms. But it'll show you the grade that they received. If it hasn't been graded yet, it'll just have a little dash. But it'll show you everything that has been published by the teacher, when they're due, if it's been graded, it'll show you if it's late, if it's missing. So the assignments tab just kind of gives you that kind of information. You could click on any assignment and see what the actual assignment was. So this is actually better than Google Classroom, in my opinion, as a parent, because in Google Classroom, you couldn't really see everything that they were asked to do, but in Canvas, you can. So it gives you all of the instructions that your child was supposed to complete, how many points it's worth, how they're supposed to submit it. So if you wanted more information, if they had a late assignment or a missing assignment and you wanted to see the directions to help your student complete it, it would be under assignments and you just click on the specific assignment that they needed. Under courses, you can also see grades. So if you want to see a specific grade just for a course instead of all their grades, and this will give you a breakdown of every single assignment instead of just having their overall grade. It'll have a status. So this status will either say missing, late, whatever it may be. So there'll be a status. I blurred it out. Score, if this is the symbol that you see under score, it means that the teacher has not graded it yet. It may have just been submitted, but that image means that something was submitted. So if there's no image there, it means that your child has not submitted anything yet. So you know when something has been submitted by having that little paper icon there, it means that something was turned in. But this will give you an overall score. Nothing's been graded yet, so it's a 0 out of 0, but 2 assignments have been submitted for the student. If you want to email your teacher, you would go to inbox. You can do it by course. Like if you want to filter through the emails and look at everything from the English teacher, the math teacher, you want to look up a specific idea. It's very much similar to just a regular Gmail account. You could go to inbox, to sent, to starred, whatever it may be. So you could filter through on this side. And then on the right is where you would compose something new. You would just click that button and start a new message. It'll ask you what teacher you want to send it to. And you would just compose it like you would in regular email. So this was all the desktop version of what the screen would look like. The app version, like on a phone, pretty much these options would be at the bottom instead of at the left. It looks very similar, but the app does look a little different. So there's a link here if you wanted to look at a video on how to navigate the app through the cell phone, through either your iPhone or Android or whatever it may be. So if that's something you wanted to look at, it's there, but it's pretty much the same information. It's just instead of being on the left, your options are on the bottom, but it gives you all the same information. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, we have some questions. One of them I think I answered. Okay, so good morning. We've downloaded the Canvas app on our phone and we're able to view assignments on the calendar until last week. However, this week the calendar shows an error. And I know that there was an update. And so like it was weird with the update, like teachers had to like download their grade stuff and then re-upload it. Like there was actions that the teachers had to do. I felt bad for the teachers. I'm like, oh, this is so complicated. But they probably just haven't done that. Yeah. So hopefully they will do that soon. I know tomorrow, because tomorrow is our first collaboration day. And so in their department meetings tomorrow, they are going to have time to like work on Canvas stuff and help each other get, you know, their grade books up and going. So hopefully by like tomorrow afternoon after collaboration, because that is some time that we're giving teachers to do that, you will start seeing the assignments again. But like I said, there was this like major update to Canvas where like basically we updated like a brand new version of Canvas. And so teachers had to like do some stuff with that this week. And so we have, Michelle, maybe you know the answer to this question. I'm hoping you do. Parent said, I got an invalid QR code notification when I tried to use the QR code. There's no options for a pairing code in the settings for my children.
I haven't seen anybody not have the option for a pairing code. I know I tried it with 3 or 4 teachers on campus that have students here and they've all gotten a code. I know that one of our teachers, it wasn't working properly and then she tried it again like 30 minutes later and it was fine. I'm not sure.
So Dominique, I'm putting in an email address into the chat of Jason Dry's. Ms. Flores is here today, but Jason Dries is actually our official like Canvas teacher person, and he's also a parent here. So I think he actually had the same problem because I remember him telling me about it, and I don't remember how he fixed it, but I know that he did. So I would. Mr. Dries is probably a great person to email about questions. I know I feel so unhelpful, but I'm not like in this. And so,
Mr. Dries also uses QR code. That I know for sure. So
Yeah.
with his son, he's using the QR code with him. So I know he's using that feature and not the code. So all the other teachers that I've helped, I didn't help him. He dealt with that on his own. All the other teachers were using a parent code, but he does use a QR code.
Okay, and then question about Infinite Campus. Do I have to create an account for Infinite Campus or use the old one from his middle school? I tried to use the old user and it wouldn't work. You do have to, it's a new Infinite Campus because we are not in the same school district as the middle school because Eastside is a high school district. So we're in a completely, yes, we're still using Infinite Campus, but it's a completely different system. So what you have to do, you don't create an account for Infinite Campus, you create an ARMS account. And so that's what the first slide I did. And again, I'm going to send these presentations out. If you have questions, if you're struggling with setting up an ARMS account, Rupert Rosales, and I will put his email, is the person to get help with that. Okay. All right, I had the same calendar error, but it resolves itself in my app after hitting refresh a few times. The app is great. All right, so I'm glad that the app is good. Google Drive. I have Google Drive integration in my account. Will it mess up the student account? Same if I will access. No, it shouldn't. Anything that you do should not mess up what's going on with your student because you guys as a parent have a different view. It's actually kind of nice. They're making it, I think the fact that you get to create your own username and login is nice. When my daughter used Canvas in high school and they assigned us a username and password, the school district did, and it was the most complicated thing and I kept losing it and it was not something I would ever easily remember because it was like, you know, random string of letters and numbers. And so I logged in as my daughter constantly and I was always afraid of messing stuff up. So the fact that you guys don't have to do that, that's good. With regards to EC Arms, is there a separate account for the parents than the student's account? Yes, it's a separate parent account in EC Arms. It's not the student account. Oh, you can't have two at different districts? Try going through it through ARMS, not going directly through Infinite Campus. Go into it through ARMS, and I'm hoping that would work. So, but again, you know, getting into Infinite Campus is not a necessary thing for parents. There's some information in there that's nice, but that's not something that you are going to be able to it's not something that you really need to do on a day-to-day basis. Like anything that you get in Infinite Campus, we can actually provide you just as a school. But you know, what's nice about going into it is that you don't have to ask us to be the middleman. Yes, when I send out all of these presentations, I will send out the link to EC Arms also. Any other questions? This is really brief. I know this is intimidating to get in all of this stuff as a parent and connecting to all of this. I'm a parent too. And yeah, it's rough. Okay, that's good information about volleyball. I will discuss that with our volleyball coaches. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, but I will I will discuss that with them. See what is happening. Other questions that you guys have? Like I said, I'm sending all this out. I know it seems, going from year to year. I had to log my son's district. They use Power School and not Infinite Campus. And I had to, last night, remember my Power School login so that I could see his schedule, because I could not remember it from this over the summer. So this is always fun. Doing all this stuff as parents. So I appreciate all of you wanting to be, on top of your kids and checking all of their grades and everything, because it is really important. Where can you find information for the schedule for sports practices? So the best thing to do, hold on, let me pull it up. Oh, got too many things open. Hold on. It's on our website under athletics. The schedule is probably not up there, but what is probably up there is the, if you look under the athletics tab, which I'm losing, I can't find my, shoot. Sorry, I couldn't find my screen because I was still in the, all right, so let me share my screen. If you go on our website and you go to athletics, which is this tab right here, let's see what they have. So the BVL website is where you're going to find the schedule for games. The best thing to do for practice time, because practices vary depending on the coach. And so we have all of our coaches on here, and I would email them directly. So you see all of the coaches on here, though tennis is not correct. We need to fix that. That is not the tennis coach. So that's where you're going to find out information about practice times, because it's going to vary from sport to sport. Okay. The school used to provide me with weekly updates of progress reports and grades in the email. Does Canvas provide the same function? I only got notifications about the assignments being graded, but no grades shown. The email is there's something. So yes, that's where you need to go in, like Ms. Flores was saying, in your account setup and how often you want notifications. And that's something that you can personalize with how often do you want the notifications. Whereas School Loop would just kind of automatically do it. What's nice about Canvas is you can make it very personalized. And so maybe you don't care about notifications from PE, but you want notifications from the Spanish more often. And so you can actually personalize it and like really like, what do you want notifications from? Is that correct, Michelle?
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah. I'm trying to look at one of them right now to see if that's one of the options. But I believe it is.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll hang out if you guys have more questions. You can ask questions about anything. I know we've gotten, you know, we're now in the second week of school. Today is our first block day. So hopefully you guys remember that the time that we get out is if your child has a 7th period, the time to get out is not all that different than normal. If they don't have a 7th period, it is 45 minutes earlier. They're getting out today. So hopefully you guys know that. Be careful tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the first day where we've got the whole school coming for the same drop off and pickup time. We are anticipating traffic to be bad. So be aware of that. Question, if we need to send an email to a teacher, do we have to use Canvas, or sending a regular email is okay? Yes, sending a regular email is always okay. Honestly, and a lot of times that's probably preferable. I always find it easier just to send a direct email rather than to trust a third party to send an email.
Most teachers prefer that too, because for Gmail, we would get a notification that you sent us an email through Canvas. So then we have to log into Canvas in order to respond to you. So most teachers actually prefer through Gmail, not all, but most. It's just a matter of making sure you have the right email. I know my emails always got mixed up because I'm Flores MI instead of just M. So whoever Flores M is gets a lot of my emails. So just ensuring that you have the right email.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see this question about the lunches. Let me. I will follow up about the lunch thing and where you see the lunch menu. I just realized I thought last year I always had that on the newsletter and I took it off because it hadn't been updated. But I'm gonna double check the district email website where they have the lunch menus, and if hopefully it's updated because school has started, and I'll post that on the newsletter again so that it's on there. Sorry, I forgot that I had taken that off. It wasn't working. The link wasn't working. And so I was waiting for the district to fix that. And I'm assuming they have fixed that by now.
The grades one, I'm looking at it through the app and not through my computer. And it looks like it doesn't give you an update of all of their grades, but you could do a notification like if the grade drops to a C, or if it drops below a D, like you can make it so if your student has A's in all their courses, you could put a notification saying, notify me if it drops to a B, something like that. But from at least the app version, not the desktop version, I didn't see anything where you get a notification of their grade in general. You would have to go into Canvas and click the show grades button.
I will show you guys right now the rally schedule. This is in my newsletter, the rally schedule. And again, you guys can always see my newsletter directly from the website. So the rally schedule is right here. I'm like touching my computer screen like you guys can see my finger. So the rally schedule is right here. The rally schedule, honestly, for drop off and pickup, it is slightly different, but I wouldn't complicate your lives. I would just treat that as a normal day. Just within the school day, periods are a little bit shorter because we have the rally. But I would, for you guys, for dropping off and picking up, I would just treat it as like a normal school day and not do anything different and just make your life easy, because it's just a couple of minutes off. So just make your life one less thing that you have to worry about as a parent. But we do have our first rally this Friday, which we're excited about. Don't worry, we're not going to cram them all into the gym because that's still with COVID a little bit uncomfortable. So we're going to be out in Sophomore Hill, which is actually where we had the last rally last year, and it worked really well. We liked it there. So hopefully we'll do that until the weather turns. Some rallies in the winter, we'll have to figure that out because weather gets bad, but right now it's going to be great. Okay, any other questions that you guys may have? Otherwise, I'm going to let you go early today. You guys are not having a lot of questions. So our topic for next week, our social workers are going to be running the Zoom with the principal next week. I actually am not going to be here because I have a CCS all admin meeting next Wednesday morning, and I have to be at that. So Ms. Gunter and Ms. Marshall are going to be here, and they are going to be talking about the wellness, what we offer students in terms of mental health and support, and they're going to talk about the wellness center. And so that's going to be really good information for you guys for like the social emotional side and just the non-academic needs your kids may have in high school and how we serve those needs. So thank you all for joining us. I am going to send this out, assuming my messenger is working properly, which hopefully it is. I will send this out and the presentations out later on, okay? Question about sports. Any interest can register a sport they're interested in and have a trial as long as it has a spot. It's different from PE. So they have to try out for sports. Every sport is a little bit different. Some sports have cuts, some don't. So it depends on the sport. Some sports, have a limited amount of spots available, and so they do cuts, and so a student isn't guaranteed to be part of the team. So it just kind of depends. I'm gonna put him in the chat. Our athletic director is a great resource for questions about athletics. So Matt Keasley, there's his email address. And specific questions about sports, he is a great contact for you, okay? All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. All right. And if you're not getting my emails and any emails that you aren't getting, check with Rupert Rosales, because it's the same thing with the ARMS. And so checking the email address that we have and who is the primary contact because remember, it's only the primary contact that is the one that gets the emails. Okay, so if you aren't getting them, it might be that partner or somebody else in the household is getting them, but Rupert Rosales is the person to contact for that. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you guys.
Did you need me for anything else, Jenny?
I got it. Thank you.